Good morning, Orange County, and welcome to Chapman News. I'm Maddie Bader.
And I'm Max Leixela. Good Friday to all. Let's get to our top stories. 2 Chapman University students were arrested this past week for a very unlikely kidnapping. Kylie Walker has the full story.
2 Chapman University students are under arrest after found connected to the stolen turkey from Orange High School this past weekend. The 5-year-old turkey named Tim was last seen at the high school's agricultural farm around 5 p.m. on Saturday and discovered missing by Patty Williams, the high school's agriculture teacher, around 7 a.m. that following morning.
And there were no misplaced feathers, there were no signs of struggle, there was no place of entry or exit. They checked all of the animals to make sure that everybody was safe, and then I contacted Orange County Animal Control.
A traumatized Tim was roaming the streets near Chapman Avenue in Glassell when he was discovered by a local resident Sunday afternoon. When found, it was clear that Tim had been physically harmed and had noticeable bruising, swelling, and trouble breathing. One Chapman professor shares her thoughts on the image this creates for the school.
I mean, this is part of it. You're part of the community, and you have to respect the community. And for these 2 students to do that, it hurts all other Chapman students.
With his condition currently declining, Tim the turkey is currently seeking care under a veterinarian in Tustin. As for Jake here, he hopes to get his friend back soon, happy and healthy. I'm Kylie with Chapman News.
Tim the turkey is home safe in his pen, and the vets say he will be just fine.
Today, my close personal friend, Dean of Students Jerry Price, is joining us to discuss some important student issues.
Thank you so much for coming, Dean Price. Now, these past few months, the biggest issue in student life has obviously been this noise ordinance that Orange just passed. I kind of want to talk about, it's been a couple months, what are the reactions that students have had? How has this kind of all gone about since it got passed?
It hasn't been passed yet. It's still in the process. It has passed all the stages it needs to before it's final, but it's not yet final, and I don't think there's any reason for us to think that it's, based on how it's gone so far, it won't be final. I think that, truthfully, I think this really, while there's some students who are upset by it and others who are upset by, I think, what it represents, it really is going to impact a relatively small number of students. It's going to impact students who have loud, unruly parties on a regular basis, and I don't think that really captures a lot of students. I think we have some students who overdo it now and then, some that have a normal party that gets out of control, but the ones that have repeated parties like that really isn't that many. So I think it's in the end, it's going to be just those who are really not being respectful of the people around them that are going to feel the effects of this.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of not being respectful, the Tim the turkey incident that we just went over, do you think that's going to have any effect on this, or is it going to be in the news based on the ordinance, or you don't think so?
Well, I certainly think that this incident, which I can't talk about the specifics, but in general, it falls in the subset of evidence of some Chapman students not being respectful of the neighborhood and not being, again, kind of being conscientious of the special place in which we live. And so I think that's just another example that people will point to, and I think that it's going to be something that, even though it might end up being isolated, it's going to feed into the dialogue and the narrative of students who aren't being, again, respectful.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know that one possible solution for this issue of a noise ordinance is potentially more housing for Chapman University students. What's in plans for that? What do you guys have planned?
We definitely want to have more housing for students. It's been something that we've been working on for years, and there's a couple of problems. The big one is space. Where would you build? And so we do have one location right now that is what we call Villa Park Orchard, which is kitty corner here from Dodge College. That's in the works, and that's a couple of years away, but we anticipate that'll be 400 or so additional beds there. And we're also planning to replace Davis Hall. Davis is very popular, but the truth of the matter is, the footprint that it sits on houses 140 students. It's the same size as the footprint that houses Henley and Prawley, which houses close to 800. So we really can't afford to have that big a space just house 140 students. So once the Villa Park Orchard goes up, then we will take down Davis and replace that with another 500 to 600 beds there. And so we're also still looking for off-campus properties like we did with Panther Village. If we can find off-campus places that we can convert for off-campus adults, upper-class student housing, we'll do that. They're just hard to come by. Since the recession ended, hotels and other kind of apartment properties are doing very well, so there's not many people wanting to sell.
Wow. Thank you so much. I actually didn't know any of that. Thank you so much for that
You
information.
need to come see me more often.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here. Monday was a very special day in my home state of Massachusetts, the one, the only, the Boston Marathon.
The big event was also the 3rd anniversary of the terrorist attacks in Boston. My co-anchor has the full story.
Bostonians got a day off from school this past week because the 18th was Marathon Monday. The Boston Marathon is the world's oldest annual marathon, and celebrations filled the streets. But not too long ago, those streets were filled with terror. This year marks the 3rd anniversary of the bombings that took place at the Boston Marathon in 2013. 3 people were killed and hundreds were wounded after 2 brothers placed pressure cooker bombs near the finish line. However, the Boston Strong movement was immediately born, the resilient movement that took the entire country by storm. The powerful campaign still sweeps the streets, which could be seen as survivors even competed in the race this week. Runners from all over the country participate in the marathon, typically including Chapman University's own president, Jim Doty. He has run 9 Boston marathons and will complete his 10th next year. He wrote an article for the OC Register about his experience. This year, 30,000 runners took the streets of Boston, including one representing our very own Chapman newsie, Dan Steele. This year, Lemmy Burhanu Hale of Ethiopia won the race with a time of just over 2 hours and 12 minutes. Let's just say it was a happy day in Beantown all around. From Orange, with my heart in Boston, I'm Maddie Bader for Chapman News. What can I say? My city's got the best spirit. Have you ever run a marathon, Max?
I have not ran a marathon, but if I did, I would be panting at the finish line.
I know, I am not a runner. My dad runs so many miles every day. He just did a half marathon, actually, but I get winded walking to class. Sorry. Well, for those who do love to run, this week has had perfect weather, good enough for a beach getaway.
Even more suiting since today is Earth Day. Reporter Zach Shucklin is in Newport Beach right now to give us his tips on how to have a successful Earth Day. Zach?
Hey guys, happy Earth Day. I'm currently here at beautiful Newport Beach, and as you see, I've left it all natural for you, but something that isn't natural, or rather should I say, something that 97% of scientists say is man-worsened, is global warming. And I know California is currently seeing that with its drought. It's the state's driest 4-year period on record, and it's been nearly a year since Governor Jerry Brown ordered California residents and businesses to conserve water. This means taking shorter showers and letting your lawns turn brown. But with the ease in drought conditions, many are tired with the mandatory water use restrictions, especially with the Sierra Nevada reservoirs expected to overflow. Felicia Marcus, who is the chair of the state water board, said she would like to allow local control, but she doesn't think that local government would provide realistic assessments and also numbers to regulate their water supply. She thinks that conservation should be a way of life for California residents, and the current board is expected to provide a new conservation method in May. But in the meantime, here's what you can do. You can go to the Peter and Mary Muth Interpretive Center on Saturday in honor of Earth Day with Rain Barrels International, and it's a local, well, it's actually not a local, it's an international organization that is going to provide tricks and tips on how you can conserve water. It's a free event that's open to the public. But in the meantime, here in California, not just on Earth Day, but on any other day, what we like to do on a beautiful day like this is go to the beach. So I'm off. Have fun. Zach Shucklin, Chapman News. Once again, happy Earth Day.
Thank you so much, Zach. Maddie, were you able to get out to the beach this past week?
No, unfortunately I wasn't, but I wish that I was because apparently there was a huge event that made me and my mom's favorite snack. It looks like Huntington State Beach is trying to break some more world records. Yesterday, Hollister and Serious Fun Children's Network gathered everyone around a massive campfire in hopes of breaking the Guinness World Record for the most people making s'mores at the same time. Children's Fun Network is an organization that holds programs providing camping experiences for children with serious illnesses. Together with Hollister, they passed the chocolate and marshmallows around to create an exciting event for the children to be a part of. The current record is held by Middleton Outreach in Wisconsin with 407 people. If the final count comes out to be more than that, this will be yet another world record that Huntington State Beach can add to its bragging list. Last year, they set one for the largest surfboard, measured at 42 feet long, and another for most people riding a surfboard. Spoiler alert, it was the same surfboard when 66 people rode on it all together to shore.
SoCal surfers may have to be a little more skeptical of exactly what kind of fins are popping up next to them. This past week, 2 surfers were catching some waves in Sunset Beach when they caught sight of a great white shark jumping out of the water only 100 feet from them. The shark did not come into direct contact with anyone, but was likely up to 6.5 feet long. Shark sightings along the coast of Orange County have been much more frequent in the past few years, with sightings from Seal Beach to San Clemente. Though they normally migrate south during colder winter months, El Niño's warmer waters have kept many lingering. Despite no reported threatening encounters, lifeguards along the coast are taking all necessary precautions, posting warning signs, and even shutting down beaches if necessary. Coming up on Chapman News, adopting a new pet is as easy as a click of a button.
And J.K. Rowling's magic lives on in Chapman University classrooms.
And we finally get a break from those hot temperatures, but things should be getting nice and back to spring-like. We'll have more for your 5-day forecast coming up. You're watching Chapman News.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Take your life to new heights. Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead. Follow your dreams. Chapman University. History, philosophy, peace studies, languages. Study abroad and explore the world. Become a global citizen. The Wilkinson College at Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead.
This past week, the Chapman Democrats Club and the Chapman Republicans Club hosted their second debate in the student union. Both teams were asked questions on foreign policy, the economy, national security, and more. Dozens of students and faculty watched the debate with various viewpoints seen throughout the audience, as they also got to ask tough questions that were on their mind. Both club presidents enjoyed having debates to see where there are similarities and differences among both sides.
And we hold it in front of the Chapman community because we want our constituents and we want our generation to be informed of what's going on. If they're not informed or they're too busy doing homework, having schoolwork, they can come to the debate, they can chillax for about an hour and be informed of the issues that are affecting our nation.
A lot of students don't really get to talk about these things or don't really get to hear about these things in their classes, unless they're political science majors. So this election is the craziest election we've ever seen. So it's important that these students get to know what's going on before voting time comes.
When asked about the upcoming presidential elections, Justice believes that education is the most important issue facing the United States, and Kyle believes that it's national security. The clubs are currently discussing holding another debate this fall semester before the election day and are encouraging every student to register to vote.
Finding adoptable and lost pets in Orange County now at the tips of your fingers. Reporter Talia Hubble visited OC Animal Care to learn about this new app.
An exciting day for the furry residents of OC Animal Care as the shelter launched a new app that allows people to search for and find available pets.
But we've had quite a few downloads. I've seen people out there in the kennels using it. It does seem like our adoptions are going really well. And our hope is that we can connect more lost pets with their owners and adopt more pets because of the app as well.
Pet Track allows users to search through the animal shelter's log of pets available for adoption, admitted strays, and animals that have recently died. The shelter is the largest shelter west of the Mississippi and covers 17 cities, housing dogs, cats, rabbits, and other exotic animals. The county is also in the process of building a $35 million shelter in Tustin.
The best part of the app is that it updates every 30 minutes, so if you've lost a pet, OC Animal Care is making it really easy for you to find them. Reporting for Chapman News, I'm Talia Hubble.
The app enables users to filter searches by breed, gender, color, and intake date. Wow, does that make it easy to adopt a dog from your couch?
Chapman University is poised to become a leader in the growing field of communication studies with the establishment of its new School of Communication. The university made the announcement this past week and expects the new school to join the ranks of the Fowler School of Law and the Arger School of Business and Economics. Behind the wheel of the new school will be Dr. Lisa Sparks, who was appointed as inaugural dean by the university president, Jim Doty, after the new school was unanimously voted for. Chapman University student and SEC major Jenna Linden agreed with the school's decision to expand the program.
But I mean, it is such a big program, and with communications along, side, it does make sense to have its own school because, like I said, it does incorporate a lot of different elements. But I think it'll definitely be a unique way for it to grow.
Although it hasn't been given a name yet, classes for the new School of Communications are set to commence in the fall of 2016.
Excitement is still in the air from the opening of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios Hollywood. But now, one Chapman professor is using the magic of J.K. Rowling to teach her students. Sophia Cycli spelled it out for us.
Nearly 20 years ago, J.K. Rowling introduced us to a boy wizard.
I'm Harry Potter.
From page to screen to theme parks, the most recent opened at Universal Studios Hollywood 2 weeks ago. Chapman professor Dr. Julie Bidmead takes the magic of Harry Potter to a new level inside the classroom.
I teach a class called Religion, Race, and Gender in Harry Potter. Previously, I taught a class called Deconstructing Hogwarts, Harry Potter in Context. That was an experimental course. That experimental course went so well that we developed it into an official course in the Chapman catalog.
Now, why use the context of Harry Potter as an educational tool?
Is because real life issues happen in the books that parallel the real world, and for students, this is a great way to talk about difficult issues.
Dr. Bidmead's classes dive into many social justice issues.
Issues of race, issues of class, issues of gender.
She uses the vast array of characters from the Potter series in her lesson plans. Her students would agree that through the years, Potter has conjured a cultural phenomenon.
Something that's really universal in scope, so pretty much everyone has some exposure to it. It's easier to engage and take ownership with the material.
In Dr. Bidmead's eyes, the educational impact of Potter and the lessons to be learned in her classes can last a lifetime, all thanks to that boy wizard. Sophia Cycli, Chapman News.
Dr. Bidmead's classes are offered during Chapman's interterm session in January. Applications are currently open, and you don't have to send them by owl.
One of the hot-button issues of this election season was the subject of debate again on Wednesday, thanks to the celebration of an unusual holiday. CJ Howe has more.
If you were wondering why your grocery store sold so much snack food on Wednesday, well, it's because it was 420. An unofficial holiday for marijuana enthusiasts. While it will never be a national holiday, it is becoming a national movement for legalization. Now 4 states, Alaska, Colorado, Oregon, and Washington, have legalized it for recreational use. As for the presidential candidates, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Donald Trump all said that they would leave it up to the states to decide, while John Kasich and Ted Cruz both oppose legalization. Here in California, Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom supports complete legalization, while Governor Jerry Brown currently opposes it. Newsom plans on running for governor in 2018, but until then, this coming fall, many people, including billionaire entrepreneur Sean Parker, are proposing plans that they hope to get on the ballot in November. But until that vote, celebrating is still illegal. From Orange, this is CJ Howe, Chapman News.
California is one of 23 states that have medical marijuana legalized, and one of 4 states, including Massachusetts, Florida, and Nevada, proposing legalization for recreational use.
While we're on the subject of plants, it's Earth Day today. What are you doing this weekend on our beautiful planet, Max?
I will actually be heading over to Palm Springs this weekend for the Coachella Music Festival.
That sounds so fun.
Wolfie Tosh is in our weather center right now. Wolfie, how's the weather looking for this weekend?
Well, whether you're planning on going to Coachella or you're staying right here in Orange, you are going to have a beautiful weekend ahead of you. As you can see behind me, it is currently 70 degrees and sunny here in Orange today. A beautiful day to go out, enjoy the circle. Winds moving at 9 miles per hour from the southwest, so if you do get a little chilly, you might want to bring a pullover or something to keep you warm. But other than that, great day to go out and view the circle. As we move back out into our Orange County forecast, we can see much of the same out here. In Orange, we've got beautiful 70 degrees. Westminster and Newport are sitting at 67. If you want to head down to the beach, it's going to be nice and sunny, but maybe a little cool, but still a great day to go out. As we expand out into the rest of Los Angeles, Southern California area, we see a lot more of the same. Santa Barbara, beautiful 80 degrees and sunny today. And for those of you going over to Palm Springs on my other shoulder over there, it's going to be hot and 85. So you might want to bring out the sunscreen and the shorts, Max. As we take a look at the rest of our 5-day forecast here, we see sunny and 70s for the rest of the weekend ahead here in Orange, especially on Sunday. Look at that, sunny and 76 degrees with not a cloud in the sky. However, heading on into Monday, we could see the rain start to pick back up a little bit, so be sure to bring your umbrellas as you're heading to work on Monday. Now, if you're anything like me, you like to spend your weekends watching sports, especially baseball. And for you Angel fans out there, the Angels are back home tonight to take on the Seattle Mariners in the first of a 3-game set. Temperatures should reach about 74 degrees here in Anaheim, with the low dipping down to 55. Be perfect for that Angels pullover and that Angels baseball cap to have, and don't forget to bring your glove out to the ballpark. Now, that's all I have for you in the Weather Center. But hey, Adam, what's going on in the rest of the sports world, man?
All sorts of stuff going on in sports, Wolfie. We have a dramatic finish to the women's lacrosse regular season, plus a senior that looks to make her final splash a big one. All that and more coming up on the Best Campus Sports Show.
Odds of becoming an astronaut, 1 in 13,200,000. Odds of being struck by lightning, 1 in 576,000. Odds of dating a supermodel, 1 in 88,000. Odds of bowling a perfect game, 1 in 11,500. Odds of being trapped in an elevator, 1 in 24,528. Odds of catching a ball at a major league game, 1 in 563. Odds of an injury from shaving, 1 in 6,585. Odds of tripping while texting, 1 in 10. Odds of getting cancer in your lifetime, 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women.
It's up to us.
To change the odds for our generation.
For the ones we love. For our future.
If you don't like the odds, stand up. Stand up to cancer.
Emergencies and disasters happen with little or no warning and often occur while you are away from home. Be ready for emergencies by registering your alternate phone numbers, cell phones, and email addresses at alertoc.com. You will receive alerts when an emergency occurs near your workplace or neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Adam Mann, and welcome to the Best Campus Sports Show. As the semester winds down, Chapman athletics ramps up. The Panthers anticipate a playoff run in multiple sports and will start at Ernie Chapman Stadium. A big game in women's lacrosse happened Wednesday, with 2 teams in a battle atop the SkyX standings. The Pomona Pitzer Satrons came in strong with an early 3-0 lead. But here are 3 straight Panther goals, one by Danielle Zahn, one by Brooke Martini, and a third by Kelsey Maggot. The score was 6-5 at halftime, and coach Dan Kirkpatrick knew he was in for a ride. Aubrey Douglas started the second half with her second goal for the Sagehens, but the Panthers came roaring back. Danielle Zahn put on some moves for her third goal of the game, and it's tied with 5 minutes left. Then Tessa Oliaro spins and fires with 30 seconds left, and that ends up being the game-winning goal. Chapman takes it 9-8. Here's the Panther hero after the game.
Well, it just kind of happened. We swung around from the back, and I was open. I saw the wide open lane, and I saw the time on the clock, and I said, it's time to go. So I took the shot, trusting my teammates were going to back me up. This is huge for our team. We were in third probably coming into this, and they were in first. This means a lot for our team going forward, but we have a lot of hard games coming up.
With that win, Chapman finished off their season 9-2 in conference play. But if they're in first place at the end of the year, then why weren't they awarded the #1 seed in the tournament? As reporter Justin Maestas shows us, their season is still far from over.
While the rest of the SCIAC teams finish off their season on Saturday, Chapman were one of 2 teams who finished it on Wednesday. With the win, Chapman finished off with at least a share of the SCIAC regular season title and a top 3 seed in the SCIAC tournament. On Saturday, 2 other teams try to spoil Chapman's fun: the 8-2 Claremont Mudscript Athenas and the 8-2 Pomona Pitzer Sagehens. If both teams win their games this weekend, not only will there be a 3-way tie for first place, but a pretty interesting dilemma in the tournament seeding. The seeding is important because the top 2 teams will get a bye, while the other has to play an extra game. The tiebreaker, like most sports, is head-to-head matchups. First, the Panthers lost to Claremont, but beat Pomona. As for the Athenas, they, of course, beat the Panthers twice, but lost to the Sagehens twice. As for the Sagehens, as you may have assumed, lost to the Panthers twice and beat the Athenas twice. Yet both teams beat up on each other. Well, that takes us to the next tiebreaker, points against. Unfortunately for Panther fans, they've given up the most out of the trio. To make things easy, for the Panthers to get the #1 seed, they'll need the Athenas to lose. But if the Athenas win, they'll need Pomona to make up an 8-goal difference to get second place, since it goes back to head-to-head matchups. But with the Panther season already over, the hard part is finished. Now it's just a waiting game till Saturday to see what seed they'll be in the SCIAC tournament. Here from Wilson Field, Justin Maestas, Chapman News.
A confusing situation, but thanks, Justin, for figuring all that out for us. Each week, Chapman University selects an athlete that went above and beyond for their team. Wolfie Tash has more with this week's star athlete.
This week's Athlete of the Week is women's water polo player Kate Staskis. The senior captain tallied 6 goals, 6 earned ejections, and 5 steals during the team's 2 matchups this week, including a career-high 4 goals in their 20-5 win over Caltech this past Saturday. While the team may be a bit smaller than she is used to, Kate still believes her team has a chance to make a deep run.
We're down to about 15 players, and with 2 goalies, so that's a really small team, so everyone plays a really big part. Where in past years we've been about 24 girls, so now every girl is really important and we play a big role, so we're all really tight. We have the awesome opportunity of coming in as the 5th seed, which seems like it wouldn't be ideal, but we know we can win that 4-5 game, and if we're in that 4-5 game and we win it, we'll go to the 1st against the 4th seed, and we've done really well against that 1st seed, which is Whittier. So I know we can beat them if we put in the time, and we can make it all the way.
Kate has played on the water polo team for all 4 of her years at Chapman and was named a captain of the team at the start of the season. While she has enjoyed playing the sport she loves, it's her teammates that she will remember and cherish the most.
All these girls are my best friends too. I spend the most time with them. I live with 4 girls that have been on the water polo team, and it's really helpful when you're having a crappy game to know that every girl on the bench is there supporting you and cheering you on.
Kate will have one last chance to lead her team to a title when the Panthers start the playoffs. Reporting from the All-Red Olympic Pool, Wolfie Tash, Chapman News.
Women's water polo begins the first round of the SCIAC playoffs tonight at 7 p.m., where they will take on Claremont Mudscripts at the University of Redlands. The Ducks may have been in Nashville last night, but reporter Chris Williams joined a crowd of fans at the Honda Center for the official playoff watch party.
Let's go! It may be cold out on that ice, but it is scorching hot here in Anaheim. However, the heat did not stop hundreds of Ducks faithful for coming out to support their team in this vital Game 4, despite it being played hundreds of miles away. Let's catch up with the fans and see what they think of their team's chances in this year's playoffs. What do you think of the Ducks' chances of winning the Cup this year?
I think it's a pretty good chance, 100% chance actually.
Oh, I have no doubt. We have all the chances in the world, and look at us, we're making it happen.
The key would be goaltending, which we're getting good at Anderson right now, and strong defensive play, because defense wins championships.
I'd say the Ducks' chances are pretty good. They've got a deep team.
About 80% chance, I'm going to be honest. Yeah.
We made it to the championship series last year, but we're claiming the Stanley Cup this year.
Go Ducks! Let's win! Let's win! Go Ducks!
Go Ducks, there you have it. Go Ducks, go.
The Ducks would go on to beat Nashville 4-1, tying up the series at 2 apiece. The series returns to Anaheim tomorrow for a pivotal Game 5. And also the Clippers going into that Game 3 tomorrow as well, so be sure to check out some basketball action. And that's all I have in sports. Fiona, what do you have for us in entertainment?
It's been a news-packed week for the music industry. More about that coming up in entertainment. You're watching Chapman News.
Stand up for what's right. Chapman University. Passion, perseverance, teamwork, integrity. Create value in the world. The School of Law at Chapman University. Lead.
There have been great triumphs and great losses this week in the entertainment world.
Fiona Zaring has the scoop for us. Fiona, what's going on?
Thanks, guys. We have had a lot of ups and downs in entertainment this week. One of them, of course, is the shocking passing of rock legend Prince. I know we're all really sad about this news. The man who brought you Purple Rain has died at the age of 57. He was found unresponsive in an elevator at Paisley Park Studios in Chanhassen, Minnesota. Creating music that pushed boundaries, Prince was more than just a musician. He was an icon. He changed the way music was made, and more importantly, he was a soul that lifted the spirits of so many others. Rest in peace, Prince. You will be missed. Love is in the air tonight, or should I say speakers. Chapman Radio teamed up with former Soundcheck president Dominique Stewart for the release of her new EP, It's Love. Featuring 4 original songs, the EP was inspired by other note-hitting divas like Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, and Beyoncé. In addition to racking up awards with Chapman Soundcheck, Stewart was also seen on the 14th season of American Idol. The launch party will be held on the Ardros Forum 3rd floor balcony, with red carpet starting at 7 p.m. Now, Dominique is not the only artist with a special announcement this week. Beyoncé teased fans on Sunday with the trailer for a secret project titled Lemonade. The artist teamed up with HBO to create an hour-long special set to premiere on April 23rd. It's still unclear what exactly Lemonade is, and fans are desperate to find out. With her Formation tour beginning the following Wednesday, many hope this is the long-awaited follow-up to her 2013 self-titled album. Let's take a look at the teaser.
The past and the present merge to meet us here.
That's all we have in entertainment. Back to you guys.
Be sure to log on to our website, chapmannews.tv, to see all of our episodes, Chapman Newsies bios, and top headlines.
And make sure you also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Chapman News, Twitter and Instagram @Chapman News, and YouTube at youtube.com/Chapman News. For Chapman News, I am Max Eichsela.
And I'm Maddie Bader. And for our last time at the anchor desk, thanks for watching Chapman News.
We will see you next week.